It's Ehizoje, everyone's favorite Nigerian.
This that real life shit, nigga.
The Chicago native was at the top of the rap game. He maintained his independence. He became a Grammy winner. He had high-profile endorsements. And he had cosigns throughout the music industry. All without an album out. Only mixtapes. Then he fell in love, stopped taking drugs, and lost his primary audience. Niggas hate positivity. Shout out to Hen Dog. Following the abysmal reception of his debut album, ironically, the now divorced MC returns with what may be his greatest work yet. Rap heavy and message filled. This is Chance the Rapper's Starline.
I was in need. It's that real life shit, nigga. I remember a long time ago. They say shy don't dance no more, and the little kids don't got a chance no more. They ain't even trying to free the old man no more. One day it won't be no old man no more. Mr. Darden used to take the bus over from Halstead. Mr. Harper used to be so exhausted. The barbershop bustling, bootleg Lacoste fits. Forget the DVDs, they trying to get that golf drip. Freckles bifocals and Kango hats. Spinning stories about blocks that they can't go back. Singing songs real life shit that they can't hold back. They used to rub them on their hair that they can't go back.
How'd y'all feel when you first listened to this album?
Listen, man. I heard, Chance dropped a new album. I'm like, I'm not listening to that shit. All these years now. And then I saw little tweets here and there the night it dropped that this shit's actually solid. So I sat down. It was late night. I'm about to play Xbox and I'm about to lock in. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a fair listen. And I'm gonna just throw this bitch on as background passive music while I play Xbox. I'm really just focused on the TV and playing Xbox. And if this shit is cool, whatever. By song 2, I didn't have to pause the game and be like, wait, hold on. I didn't know you can uncorny yourself this way in hip hop. I didn't know you can like fall off and be corny off that last shit that he put out.
Yeah.
And then come back like this. Like, this shit is quality.
It was better than quality.
This is
it's one of those albums that when you first listen to it, you're just like, yo, this is really good. And then you listen to it again and you're just like, well, he's actually saying something. Then you listen to it again and be like, wait, these are actually really good songs. He's saying something. And it has a message behind it. It's just like, yo.
First of all, the production, the quality of the production is what first caught my attention when I first listened to this.
Yeah. And
then it's like, okay, I'm used to Chance the Rapper's voice, but like, oh wait, no, he's saying things too. On top of it, like the production is what first reeled me in.
Yeah.
And then he's like actually like rapping, and he's not like being performative or corny. Like he's like, oh, this is like not only your true thoughts, but you have interesting thoughts.
Yeah. And actual opinions that you're standing on.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, hold on. So that's when I said, fuck the game. And the game became like secondary. And the game was just like visuals to like listen to this album.
Yeah.
I love this album. It doesn't have as many like bangers and radio hits as his previous, like 10 Day and Acid and Coloring Book.
Yeah.
But I think on some like, this is just, to me, this is just a project up and down of nothing but really, really good B-sides. Not radio hits, but a lot of really good B-sides.
Yeah. And before Michael goes, because I know you said this was like your favorite song on the project, I will say like, I was actually looking forward to this project. I know a lot of people weren't, but I didn't understand like how much people were not looking forward to this until like I was like throwing shit into like the rap group chat like, hey, y'all hear this like Chance freestyle, this and that. Every time I was saying like anything Chance related,
we were hating.
It would be like, no, like, nah, I ain't trying to listen to that bullshit. I'm like, bro, this shit is good. Like this shit is like, this shit is.
Speaking of the group chat, because I remember I heard it like the night it dropped, and the only person who heard it before me was shout out our frat brother Clinton.
Yeah.
Clinton was like, hey, this out, and Clinton is not no weird. He don't just be yapping the yap. Clinton, when Clinton says something, I kind of believe it.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey man, this Chance album is. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna hear it. So when I heard it, and I was a second opinion in the group chat about the Chance album specifically, not like his singles before that. And I was like, no, he's not lying. So then like I think Bilal and Perry made like a little joke, and then like slowly but surely everybody like, yeah, this Chance album is solid. This Chance album's solid.
So like I had come in from, I never listened to like Coloring Book or acid rap. Like I heard singles and whatnot, but I never sat down and was like, let me listen to this whole album. So I was aware of Chance's rapping skill, but like my introduction to Chance, like beyond the music shit, was when he was on Rhythm and Flow. What was that, like 2020 or whatever that was?
Okay.
So when I heard him on there,
The TV show,
the rap show,
Netflix, yeah.
I didn't really like him because he was kind of like the only judge that was like a dickhead to everybody.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So he was a dickhead to everybody, and I was like,
right? He was on that, right?
Mm-hmm, that's the one he won. And I was like, I don't really fuck with bruh because he seemed like one of those niggas who thought he was better than other niggas, and like I didn't really fuck with it. Yeah. So when I heard this album had dropped, and then what's his name? Mark Lamont Hill was talking about it on the Joe Budden podcast. He was like, it's my favorite album of the year. Yeah. And the clip shit had just dropped. Yeah. Like what, 2 weeks before? Yeah. So I was like, okay, I think this nigga Mark is like decently intelligent. Let me go fuck with it. So whenever I'm listening to an album,
decently intelligent.
On that podcast, man, you'd be a rock. You seem like you was a genius.
Mark is
very smart.
No, I know, but I'm saying like on that podcast, he looked.
Mark says he's good.
He was trying not to glaze too much.
I know what you mean. If you can go on that pod and say 2 + 2 = 4, someone will be like, oh my god,
and it's crazy.
I'm learning in real time.
Exactly.
I didn't. I don't know.
No, say.
No. Keep going with your.
I didn't know Kappas can like be.
No fact. So I listened to it, but whenever I'm listening to an album that I've been like heavily recommended, if it's like a lyrical album or like they're basically when they promote the album is like, oh, this is a smart guy, like the album is really good, I'm always like, oh, okay, let me sit here with my Googles. So I'm sitting here, and when I seen the title, it said Starline. I looked it up, and it goes back to the I can't remember his name, but he's the Jamaican revolutionary who lived in America. I want to say Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey?
Yes, that was the name of the
It's connections with that. Yeah, I saw that too.
So when I peeped that, I was like, okay, nigga might be talking about something. So when I listened to it, I was like, okay, I can see the appeal, because I never got a chance because the ad libs were always like, I'd be like, what is this nigga yelling about?
You quick story. You want to know the history? He did an interview recently about the history of that ad, like that.
Yeah, I couldn't get into.
So
that
he
shit.
said that he came to LA. I think when he was recording 10 Day, which is his first like real project. He came to LA to record with Chuck English, who's half of the Cool Kids. Great producer.
Yep.
He was recording with Chuck English. And yeah, shout out to Michael Mox, one of my favorite rappers of all time, my top 15. But we can get into that later, or another day. So he was like, I don't know, EJ, you could probably be better because you're a recording artist. I've never recorded shit. But when rappers just be saying bullshit before they record, like they kind of do their stretches. Yeah. So like that was Chance kind of like doing the stretches like before a song, like he was actually going to start rapping. He was like, just doing random fucking noises. Mac Miller happened to be in the studio, and he didn't even know Mac like that. But Mac had like tapped like Chuck in them and was like, that shit's kind of fire. That would be a cool ad lib, whether he likes or not. Keep that shit in the song. So, and then he kept that. He kept doing it. That wasn't an intentional thing.
Okay,
it was Mac Miller's call. So now, especially now that Mac is rest in peace, like, it's even more of a tribute. And that's like that was just Mac's insight. Now
he even had a song where he was talking about like Mac passing away. And he's just like, I don't do. And he was talking about how he doesn't do drugs anymore and how that might feel a type of way with certain listeners, and it's just like, yo, not only do I don't do drugs anymore, it's like someone who I ended up becoming close with, Mac Miller, died because of drugs, and yet the audience is still asking for the old Chance, like that Chance isn't coming back.
Michael, I'm not. I know we all. Anytime I say Smino, I say it facetiously. If you fuck with Smino and you fuck with like that type of shit, because Smino's very like filled, melodic, very like honest, and very like he's Midwest as fuck. I would challenge you to like sit down with 10 Day. Talked about him. I would challenge you to sit down with Acid Rap and Coloring Book.
Coloring Book for sure.
I think you specifically would really appreciate those projects. I wouldn't judge him based off that reality show, because he was corny on that show.
I feel like Acid Rap and 10 Day, you kind of had to be there when it dropped to really appreciate it. So you might not like it as much, but Coloring Books, like that shit stands up. Like that's
his best project.
That's what I've been hearing.
That's what made the Grammys be like, we have to start considering mixtapes now.
And then Coloring Book came out. That was his third mixtape, and he won some Grammys on it.
Corny as fuck with the Big
But
Day.
that's where, so like, what I'd heard parts of the Big Day because he had like a bunch of features on that, and a lot of the features were artists that I fuck with. So I was like, okay, cool, let me check it out. And I didn't really like it, but I don't like I'm Married rap.
I don't either.
And the only reason I don't like I'm Married or like me and my girlfriend really love each other rap is not because I don't support that, but I feel like most people are either single or in a relationship that's like not happy enough to make an album about.
So you can't relate to it.
So you can't relate to it for one, but I also feel like it's kind of like, you ever been taking a test like in high school or college where like when you finish the test, you could leave the room? I feel like Married albums or like I Love My Girlfriend or like My Relationship Is So Happy albums always feel like that nigga who's the first to finish the test kind of like bragging on his way out, where it's like, I get that you're happy, I still have like 40 questions left and like you're being a dickhead. I understand that you're just like really happy to go see your girl. Everybody don't have that, so like shut up, like that's not what I want to hear right now. So I listened to it and I was like, not the biggest fan. But when I cut this shit on, I was like, oh, okay, so the nigga, for one, I didn't know if he could really rap 'cause I never heard his shit. I was like, okay, so the nigga can really rap.
He could really
And then for two, he was talking about shit, but he was doing what we just like kind of, well, I'll say for myself, what I just kicked Earls back in for. He was like, I'm gonna talk about shit, but I'm not gonna do it in a way that's so like damn near academic that you don't give a fuck and you don't want to hear it. I'm gonna do it in a way where it's like you'll listen to the song and at the end be like, oh wait, I might have just learned something from this nigga.
And there's crumbs. Like the most, I would say, most energy filled song on here was like Drapetomania.
Oh, that was the ass shaking song.
Yeah. And like if you look up what Drapetomania is, I hope I'm saying it correctly. It was a pseudo-scientific like theory that slaves that ran away from their slave owners had mental disorders.
Yeah.
Like, is that not crazy? Like, to think that, because you want to run away, because you don't want to be a slave, something must be wrong with you mentally.
And not even to like delve into that too much further, but like there's a similar situation where like, so like I went to Southern for law school. I love the fuck out of that school. One of the things that we have to learn like in your first year out there is you have to look up the inception of like HBCU law schools in the first place. And there's only 7 of them. So one of the things that you learn is part of why Southern was founded was because of like a lot of stuff that was going on in specifically Louisiana. But there was a case in Mississippi where a nigga had applied to Mississippi State for law school and they had put the nigga in a mental asylum. And you can read like it's fucked up, but it's hilarious.
Just because he applied?
Literally. And you can read the sentencing or whatever.
You want to do better for yourself?
But they were basically
Nigga,
like,
is you crazy?
They were like, he had to have been mentally insane to think that he could come to law school with other white people. So like they literally put him in a mental insane asylum for like years. So like with stuff like that, like when I start looking up the titles of stuff, for me, I'm not expecting every nigga to come in and be like super OD educational in his raps.
Yeah.
But when I peeped little stuff like that, I was like, okay, I can fuck with bruh. Yeah. So when I listened to it all the way through, especially with that song you just played, I was like, I'll give Chance a spin because before that, he just been written off into that category of niggas where it's like, I'll get to it if I get to it. Now, if he drops like tomorrow, I'd be like, okay, let me stop what I'm doing and check it out.
You should listen to his first 3 projects.
I'm about to, yeah.
And speaking of No More Old Man, you said that was your favorite song. So why was No More Old Man your favorite song on the project?
I like that one because I feel like it touches on something. So like, James, you know Michael, what's his name? Stimmage. Alpha.
Oh, yeah.
When I'll never forget, like, whenever I meet younger niggas, and like we're in a space where they're old enough to have a conversation, but like young enough to where I know their opinion will probably be different than mine. I love to talk to them about like what music or shows or whatever the fuck, like what media do you like? And when I met that nigga, he said it was 2019 or 2020. It was 2019 or 2020. And he said his favorite rapper ever was NBA Youngboy. And that was the greatest rapper he'd ever heard, like ever.
That's
and
very Stimmage coded.
But he meant that shit like passionately. And so I like this song because I feel like there's such a disconnect between our generation of music, and we're not even that old. We're like close to 30 or 30, and like younger niggas. I like this song because I feel like it's talking about like if we don't respect the older generation's opinions, I'm not saying we have to mirror it, but if we don't at least listen to it, we're gonna fuck up the game because essentially everybody's gonna have to learn everything for themselves the first time through. Yeah. Because nobody wants to listen to the older nigga who's telling them, hey man, you don't have to do that. They go, fuck that, I'm gonna do it. And then they go, oh, I shouldn't have done it. I could have lost out on this past however long of like struggle if I'd just listened to an older nigga. So I fuck with the song because he's not doing it in the typical like Joe Budden does it a lot where he's like, younger niggas are dumb, they don't know shit, they're idiots, we shouldn't talk to them. I like this song because it's one of the first genuine AAA like rappers I've heard be like, let's talk to the younger niggas and not do it like we're better than them and they're idiots. Let's just literally be like, hey man, that shit you're going through, you wouldn't have had to go through that if you'd have just listened to an older nigga. He could have put you on and you'd have been somewhere else entirely.
You saying shit was big homie raps? Like where I can meet you?
It was big homie raps, but
It's
it
like
didn't feel like he was preaching at a
It's
younger
like meeting
nigga.
you halfway. Like,
yes.
let me come down to you because I've been there before. Like,
yes. And we need more niggas to do that in a way that doesn't feel like it's preaching down at them, but just like, hey nigga, you're like 18, you don't really know shit. Let me just put you on a little bit.
I'm sorry, EJ. I know we've been cutting you off and you've been waiting to. I think to your analogy about like his raps was like we wasn't.
Did someone talk to you about like cutting people off?
No, because no. Because last time, not the second to last time we had a podcast, y'all made a big old fucking deal because I was cutting off Lauren.
No.
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't you. You weren't there for that.
I wasn't making a deal that you were cutting people off, but Lauren hadn't spoken like the whole episode, and I could tell she was getting frustrated.
Oh no, yeah, she whispered to me about that.
So I was just like, let me give Lauren a chance to speak. So I apologize if that made you.
There's no need for no apology. I'm not like harboring bad feelings or resentment. The thing about me, if I keep hearing repeated like grievances about something that I've been doing, even outside of like us, I'm more mindful and conscious about it to the point where I overthink it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that I don't like getting cut off. So like that even makes it adds on more to it. You know what I mean?
I think we're all just having conversations. As long as everyone is able to get their voice heard, like I don't think it matters. And
with you specifically, even outside of me, you be on motherfuckers' head about cutting you off, and you keep leaning to the microphone about to talk. So I'd be like, fuck. I know EJ is like really anticipating saying something, so I feel bad for cutting this nigga off.
The only time I'm on somebody's head for cutting me off is if I really want to get a point in. I'll be almost to my point, and then nigga wants to start. I'm like, no, let me land the plane.
Yeah, let me land.
But if I haven't started talking yet, I don't give a fuck.
All right, real quick. I look at hip hop, right, as not like a locker room, like a guy's, like because anybody can be up in here.
It's like a barbershop,
and maybe that's even to our fault as black people. It's like a place. Like hip hop to me is a place where you can like say your rawest emotions, even if it's unpolished or problematic. Mm-hmm. Chance the Rapper, that I love being married and we should do the right thing, like, or even other rappers who do that shit. That's why like it's off-putting to me because like nigga, this is like, I'm not saying you should be negative on purpose because that's corny, but I think that's why like some of my issues with hip hop today is like I feel like it's too like it's trying to appease like the mainstream, which is cookie cutter, which is, hey, like we shouldn't say problematic things. We should not say we should. And I feel like Chance got back to like actual hip hop. Not saying that he's saying problematic things in his album, but like it's not fuck that. I love my wife and I love being a great family man. No, tell me about how you feel about the black church. That's hip hop. Tell me about how you feel about like going through like depression or going through a divorce with somebody you thought you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. Yeah. Give your honest opinion about that, whether it's unpolished or polished or not. That's hip hop. And I love Bruno Mars. That Bruno Mars, some of Drake's music, that whole or Chance the Rapper Big Day shit, all that bullshit, nigga, that is not hip hop. That's polished cookie cutter shit. That's pop, nigga.
That's facts. That's facts. It is pop.
I'm glad you hit that last point because I think he had so much pressure to go pop at that point.
Yeah.
That he kind of like turned away from himself. Right, he wasn't being honest with himself anymore. I think this project is him going back to being honest with himself because he came onto the scene as being like one of the best like pens in rap, right? Where it's just like, yo, this guy he's kind of eccentric, but if you listen to what he's saying, he's actually saying some real shit, right?
And I also don't catch a nigga. I don't fault a nigga for getting caught up in the sauce of like really fucking with his girl. I just acknowledge that might not be the stuff that I gravitate towards. But like I don't know, getting married and loving your girl and like being a good boyfriend, husband, whatever you are to her is not a bad thing. But I think my pushback comes in a lot of like hip hop discussions is when niggas get mad at somebody for not being where they are when they made an album. Because my thing is always kind of like with Chance. Because I remember he had at least from what I was seeing, he had a lot of pushback on like people not liking the album. And my thing is like, it's okay that people don't like the album. That's kind of part of what makes it hip hop is like, everybody's not gonna fuck with every project you put out. Mm-hmm. I think part of hip hop as a consumer end is like the criticism. And I think it's like, I don't know, for me, it's always weird when a nigga goes like, I don't understand why nobody else likes this thing that I put out. Cause it's kind of like, I don't know. It's like we all love football. We don't all love the same team. Like niggas are gonna have
or the
opinions.
players.
Yeah, niggas are gonna have specific opinions, and like that's hip hop. Everyone's not gonna like the same shit. Everyone's not gonna tell the story the way you would have wanted it told.
James,
Yeah.
James, what was your favorite song on the project?
Oh, fuck, that's tough. I'm gonna go with Ride for right now. Ride.
All right, let's listen to Ride real quick.
It's that real life shit, nigga. Diamonds on my birthstone. Sometimes it snows in April. If I get the lighting right, I'm shooting out a rainbow. Coalition, that's a soul intention, that's the main goal. Cold under pressure, turning Tommies into Django. Sambos and the Rambos, dumping ammo in the Django's. Make the gang a milligan, make sure they move militant. This for all my gullas, I'ma get us off this gill again. This for all the times, now I'm the captain, you was filling in. Ride, just enjoy the ride, just enjoy the ride. Trust you gon' be alright, we gon' be alright. But if they wanna fight, it's gon' be a fight. Just get your brothers right.
She chuckling about.
Cause it's a minor thing, but he's doing the same shit niggas like kick J. Cole's back in, where he be trying to sing just a little too much. That's how I felt about that little thing just now.
I fuck with when J. Cole
I like when J. Cole.
I like when J. Cole sings, but every time that nigga sings, I hear somebody on Twitter or like somebody I personally know be like, I hate when J. Cole do that singing shit. I'm like, if I was a rapper, I might sing a little bit too.
EJ, I'm assuming the question is, why was your favorite song? That's the upcoming
That is the question. It's like you've been on this podcast before.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
No, I'm just giving you banter, bro.
I know. Okay, cool. I think I fuck with this song the most. It gave me Bone Thugs and Harmony energy, and I like that, especially because they from the Midwest. Yeah. Especially this nigga Do or Die, who I've never heard of before this project. And one, I love that name as a rapper. I don't know,
He hit the Twister flow, Hakeem.
Hit the Twister flow, and then he started getting melodic like towards the end, and that brought me back to Bone Thugs. And with this beat, I was like, it was Bone Thugs in a good way. I don't know if that was his intent.
Yep. Yeah, I get it.
He's gonna do it later, probably towards the end of this verse. Actually, I think it's coming up. Hold on. Actually, I think like maybe a few bars after. I'll shut the fuck up.
Then hit the block like gon' get some. I done had a good time on that run. I done hit the telly with the Henny and the pill and the bad chicken got us from. B-E-L-O, we so halo, we so halo.
That part.
Stack the netto, match them peso.
Very Bone Thugs to me, and I love it. I think it was executed great. I think these niggas is fly for this, and it's cool, smooth player shit. At least it sounds like it.
Yeah, I fucked with the whole project heavy, to be honest. It was very hard for me to pick a favorite song, but my favorite song, I think you alluded to it earlier, him talking about the black church.
I like that one too.
Let's listen to Letters.
Yeah, Letters. Yeah.
Church of God, I hope this message reach you well. I wrote this it's that real life shit, nigga. See, recently my auntie Carolyn passed away, and half the way to the funeral, I realized that it's some shit that niggas just gonna have to say. You think you outlasted? That wasn't just my auntie in that casket. You just buried KOK in Sunday school and classes. The only saint you see on every Sunday season passes. Somebody need they ass kicked. Who told you your gossip could be louder than your shout? Who told you to walk inside this house like it's your house? Who lied to you, told you I wouldn't have nothing to say? You think I want man on the trip? I'm on the way, I'm on my way, I'm on my way, I'm on my way. Get that soon. I'm on my way, I'm on my way, I'm on my way. Dear Mega Church, I hope this letter finds you, for I do. Fund a new building to hide you, I'll still be behind you. Elaborate theatrics to blind you, nickel and dime you, but I knew I'd watch you worship idols.
As somebody who grew up in the church and has read the Bible start to finish multiple times, like my mom made me sit down and read like every night, right? It was important to her that I knew like these stories and knew the messages behind the Bible. I'm already extremely opinionated, so obviously I'm gonna take these messages and have my own opinions about it, right? I think the church has changed over time, and I think a lot of pastors have changed over time, which not necessarily is a bad thing in its own, like in a vacuum, but in respect to the Bible, I think a lot of their messages aren't really the Bible's messages. They just use the Bible as a vehicle to get their own messages across, which I strongly disagree against, which is why I don't always like. It takes a lot to get me to go to church. I'd rather just read my Bible, pray to God by myself. But because of that, like listening to this like song, I was just like, yeah, this is exactly what's wrong with the church. Like I remember there's this one church I used to go to down Riverside. I'm not gonna say the name of it. And there was this one day where they were showing like appreciation to the pastor, and the congregation had like bought him a Porsche. And I was just like,
whoa, what the fuck?
I was
That's
like,
not mega church shit though.
I was like, yo, this is what y'all doing with your with the church's money, like, and he accepted it. Like, something's off. And I actually really like that church. Like,
Accepting it is crazy.
And I was just like, bro. And then I'll go to like other churches. And I'm just like, yo, you have a political agenda that you're trying to like drive through whatever message you're giving. And I don't know. If you go to a good church, congratulations to you for finding your church home. Shout out to you. I still need to find mine. But
I feel where you're coming from because my mom is so heartedly the reason why I have any type of relationship with God, because I just grew up with it being like on the back of her basically. And so I feel you. My thing on it I feel the same way about the church that I feel about like rap music, where like people will be like, oh, there's no good rap music anymore. There's no good churches. I'm always like, there is. It's just harder to find now than I feel like it was back in the day. But like, so the church that I grew up going to with my mom turned into a mega church like during our time going there.
Yeah.
And I agree with what you're saying, what Chance is saying, because it's like when you see the shit become more about money than about like anything else, you can almost see the soul getting drained out of it, because you're like, it's like the Porsche shit you said. My pastor didn't get no Porsche, but like that nigga's rich, and so it's like one of those things of where it's like it's a hard. Me and my mom have had this debate like 1,000 times, where it's like our pastor is supposed to necessarily like our mega church is supposed to be poor, and it's like no, but also should they be rich? No, but you know what I mean? Like it's a hard conversation.
This is literally what Jesus tore the temple up for.
Yeah.
like this is a story in the Bible. Like he went to, he didn't like what he saw. He was just like, you guys are not representing God in the way that you're supposed to, and he flipped the tables. Like this is something that happened.
I think like I know it might be a reach, but I feel like it's a social media issue, because once churches get on 100%. Social medias and have like an Instagram or a TikTok, it's like how much of this can really still be about like the focus of church, when you can tell that a lot of this is geared towards engagement and like bringing in funds and whatnot. So I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
With the judgmental shit. Like I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I went to a 7-day Adventist school and a Catholic school growing up. Like it's not two separate,
Yeah. The two separate denominations, but
yeah, I went to middle school at a 7-day Adventist, and I went to a high school that was Catholic. And then I grew up. I actually need to word the shit, because y'all be killing me when I say this shit. I spent portions of my childhood living in the South.
You from the South?
Basically.
No, I'm not from the South.
Southern James.
You might as well be.
I ain't from. I'll say like I'm like 8% Southern, and like the rest like 92 West Coast. But like I went to like Southern church for real, like as a kid, like every Sunday type shit. Especially like when I went to school out there, like we did not miss a Sunday where we did not go to our Baptist black church in the South.
Yeah, they got Pentecostal churches down there in the South.
In Texas and in North Carolina.
Catching the Holy Spirit.
So what I say, I fuck with Jesus and all that, but I kind of like, and nobody taught me this. I kind of just did this on my own. Like I just kind of separated. Like I remember when Laffy Taffy came out. That song Laffy Taffy by D4L. Okay. They're like in the church, like, I love that song. I was a kid, they're in the church saying it. I was in North Carolina, at church in North Carolina, and it was like reading the lyrics and like bashing the song. And I'm like, I fuck with that song. And like, they're so anti-rap. And I was like, okay, like, I think like, and one thing my mom told me before I learned all that, anything these rappers say, my mom was like, I know a lot of these parents, your friends' parents try to like protect you from listening to rap because it's about bad influences. My mom said, I can't stop you from listening to rap because I'm not going to be around you 24/7. But just know when you hear rappers talk and you see like music videos, don't believe most of that shit. Actually, like the vast majority is fake. Like take it with a grain of salt. Like don't let that get in your head. And that's all I need to know. So when I listen to rap, I never felt like it was leading me towards a lifestyle of sin, or I didn't act or want to feel influenced to commit crimes and shit like that because of music, because I didn't take it seriously. So when I listen to like the people at church bash rap, I'm like, y'all niggas are taking this shit way too seriously. So it's like that made me realize, yo, these niggas at church aren't like that's just your interpretation of whatever the fuck is like whatever you want it to be, and using the Bible to justify. You just don't like rap because you're older. So like I'm like, and I can give more examples. I don't feel like yapping, but like that's why like I feel like I picked that up from Chance's song a little bit too. Is like this like misplaced judgment on people.
Yeah.
And funny, shout out Kafila. I had a great convo with Kafila over this weekend about like religion and judgment and all that type of stuff. Yeah, I'm just not with that shit. Yeah, shout out Kafila.
For former co-host of the Relax Show.
Come back, Kafila.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being judgmental. I think the issue.
Really?
I don't, because I think like people have put definitions on words that are not necessarily there outside of their brain, and like to judge something is literally just to come up with an opinion about something.
Okay, I ain't mean like the literal. I get what you're saying. But yeah.
Well, but I'm saying in general, even like to have a negative opinion about something, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. I think what becomes wrong is when you try and spread your opinion, or when you like demonize other people for having a different opinion.
That's what I'm talking about.
And my issue with like the church in general, I mean, not to pivot this entirely, but like what Chance is saying, I think is an accurate thing. But I think you made a point that I think I wish more church-going Christians would have the opinion of, which is your pastor's interpretation of the Bible is not biblically like untouchable. Yeah. Like he can be wrong. And I think people even act like that statement is like sacrilegious, but it's like, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to church ever, but I do think, like, I understand where EJ's coming from. If you don't have a church to go to, it is difficult when you try and go to one and they're on some like money stuff. But I do think you should have your own personal interpretation of like the Bible and like your relationship with God. That's why I kind of like the song. Now I do think it's a little more judgmental, but I think I can be a little judgmental as well. So I didn't have an issue with it, but I like the concept of like, this shit shouldn't be about money. And if it is, I have questions that I kind of want you to answer as a pastor whose job should be shepherding people to God, but you have a Porsche.
What would you guys give this project out of 10?
I think I give it.
Hold on. I'm going to give this motherfucker a 8.2.
What about you, Michael?
I gave it a 7.
A 7.
A 7/8, so I'll say 7.5.
So I gave it a 9.4.
That's really fucking high.
This outside of the Clips project, I don't know a project that is actually, in my opinion, is better.
Do you like this more than Clips?
This year?
I think this has more highs than the Clips project, but the Clips project was more concise. And so I give Clips, I think I gave Clips like a 9.6. So I give Clips like a slight edge, but
Y'all should have went to that Clip show, bro. Anyway, y'all should have went. That shit was fire.
Yeah, I don't know. This project is just like every time I listen to it, I take something else away from it. Yeah. And I love projects like that. Yeah. But out of 3, that's 8.36, 8.4. So shout out to
that's not bad.
Chance.
It's a good project. Good shit, nigga. And welcome back, nigga.
Yeah, welcome back.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Back,
Can I ask y'all, since we talked about the Clips, after the group chat, y'all kind of ignored it. And I had a great convo with my shorty about it. Who had the better comeback in 2025, Malice or Chance?
I said Chance only because it's a solo comeback.
Yeah, I went because Malice has been like leading up to this. Like he's had verses over the last couple of years where we're just like, oh yeah, he could still rap, and we never thought he couldn't rap, right? Chance had had a whole project where niggas was like, oh yeah, this nigga's done. So,
I agree.
So I would say Chance.
I agree. I just think it's crazy because Malice arguably. Now Malice, I know Malice raps better than Chance. There's no debate about that.
That's what I was gonna say. He's done better rapping.
I'm not talking about who's a better rapper.
I think that is up for debate actually.
You don't think he's done better rapping than Chance this year?
Yeah, because at that point, when you get to that level of rapping, it becomes like a what do you prefer, right? Where like Malice is rapping about some shit where you're just like ooh, and Chance is rapping about some shit where it's like oh I gotta think about that. Like you know,
I think Malice does that too.
Chance to me is a return to form. Because everyone who I've heard that loves this album says, oh, this is like him getting back to coloring book, acid rap, etc.
Yeah.
Malice to me, it's kind of like we didn't know if you could still do this and you proved us that you could.
Yeah.
I agree with EJ actually. I think if Malice wants to come back, we know he's gonna do it at a high level. I think what's surprising for Malice for me is that not only did he come back, but Malice, you know how Complex crowns like the best rapper of the year?
Yeah.
I think Malice is gonna win that shit.
He should.
I think Malice came back out of nowhere. Of all people, it wasn't like a Travis Scott or a J. Cole or a Kendrick or a Drake. It was Malice. It wasn't even Push. Malice came back and is going to win MVP of the year.
The point that you're making of who is deserving of that award, I don't disagree with. I do also kind of as a caveat feel like this was like a weaker year to be in that conversation because I don't feel like Kendrick dropped. I don't think Kendrick
dropped this year.
GNX was 2024?
Yeah.
It's 2024, but it's in this like
in the cycle?
cycles. Yeah.
Even if it's
because it dropped
for the Grammys, but not the Complex's best rapper.
What I'm saying is whether it's included or not, I don't think Kendrick when he sits down will be like that was the best rapping I've ever done in my career. I think GNX was a victory lap, so I almost lazily count it as like not an album from him. Like it was an album, but like
that's like more of a mixtape for you.
Yeah. But that's beside the topic. I think he's deserving of it. I don't think he'll get it only because, and I hate to say this, but I do feel it to be true. Drake's gonna drop and the industry kind of loves Drake. So Iceman is gonna get like I'm saying this as like a tentative.
No, you're being objective.
Like, I hope I'm wrong. But this is what I do think to be true. The amount of like dick sucking we're gonna see from the industry when Drake finally does drop that album is gonna be like astronomical.
I disagree. Hold on. Because we're gonna jump into Iceman later. I know you got an Iceman topic, but let's go into hot takes first.
Okay.
So